to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations. Much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. This is a very important video. I just saw the elder upload a video about the crash, the plane crash that happened in D.C. It collided with a helicopter. And I happened to listen to Trump's basically his response to that, right? His response to that. And you brothers have to listen to what he said, because the elder Require Kwam just did a lesson not too long ago about scientific racism is coming back in a big way. We need deliverance. And this is what he's pushing in this statement. This is exactly what he's pushing in this statement. You have to be able to read between the lines of what this devil is saying here. So I'm going to play this real quick so you can hear and also understand. Listen to the end.
Disabilities are those disabilities that the federal government, as a matter of policy, has identified for special emphasis in recruitment and hiring. The FAA's website states they include hearing, vision, missing extremities, partial paralysis, complete paralysis, epilepsy, severe intellectual disability, psychiatric disability, and dwarfism all qualify for the position of a controller of airplanes pouring into our country, pouring into a little spot, a little dot on the map, a little runway. The initiative is part of the FAA's diversity and inclusion hiring plan. Think of that. The initiative is part of the FAA's diversity and inclusion hiring plan, which says diversity is integral to achieving FAA's mission of ensuring safe and efficient travel. I don't think so. I think it's just the opposite. The FAA website shows that the agency's guidance on diversity hiring were last updated on March 23rd of 22. They wanted to make it even more so. And then I came in, and I assume maybe this is the reason. The FAA, which is overseen by Secretary Pete Buttigieg, a real winner. That guy's a real winner. Do you know how badly everything's run since he's run this Department of Transportation? He's a disaster. He was a disaster as a mayor. He ran his city into the ground, and he's a disaster now. He's just got a good line of the Department of Transportation, his government agency charged with
Did he just curse? Did he just say a curse word? This guy's yo. Anyways,
civil aviation. Well, he runs it, 45,000 people, and he's run it right into the ground with his diversity. So I had to say that it's terrible. Then it's a group within the FAA, another story, determined that the workforce was too white, that they had concerted efforts to get the administration to change that and to change it immediately. This was in the Obama administration just prior to my getting there. And we took care of African Americans, Hispanic Americans. We took care of everybody at levels that nobody's ever seen before. It's one of the reasons I won. But they actually came out with a directive, too white. And we want the people that are competent.
Yeah, and the people that are competent are not you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Why? Because you have low IQ. It's just genetics. This diversity thing, you know, it downplays genetics, right? So we have to put you in your proper place according to your ability, which, like I always say, and like brothers always say, Shalom, Akim, Shalom, right? Like I always say, that Jake has the greatest potential on the planet Earth, right? We are able to do the greatest things on the planet Earth because we are the sons of the Heavenly Father. But what Esau is saying is that we are weeds, right? We're human weeds, in other words. This is what his their philosophy is, going back to Margaret Sanger and so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do is I want to get this scripture, but you heard what he said. I hope you brothers was listening. I was just looking up who Pete Buttigieg is. But you heard what he said, right? Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. Okay, let's read some of this. This is Wisdom of Solomon, 2, Wisdom of Solomon 2 and verse let's go to verse 6 or 7. It says, matter of fact, let's start at verse 5. It says, for our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning, for it is fast sealed. Now, this is the wicked speaking, okay? You know what? I'll start at 1. Forget it, man. Let's have some patience and go through it. It says, for the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we have never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air. And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance. And our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun and overcome with the heat thereof. Okay, so this is the wicked speaking. All right, this is their mindset. You know, YOLO. They gotta do all they can do and live it up now. It says, for our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning. For it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let's go, Salakia. Let me go down to the point that I want. Right, let's go to verse 10. It says, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Now, the poor represents you Israelites. You are the poor nation on the planet Earth. Okay, they're not going to spare you. They're definitely not going to spare you. Okay, because that represents the vulnerable, the poor and the widow. It says, let our strength be the law of justice. So the power that they have, that is going to be the law. Okay, the fact that he has the power, that's going to be the law. For that which is feeble, meaning that which is weak, is found to be nothing worth. And if you have less intelligence, right, they look at that as weak, right? That's weaker than someone of great intelligence. So they're looking at you jakes. They classify you jakes according to their science as having a low IQ, as being feeble. So you're not worth anything. Now we're gonna put you in your place, but your place is not running airplanes and so on and so forth, because you're not smart enough to do that. See? So when the elders said that they're bringing back scientific racism, this is what basically is being said. You understand? This is what's basically being said here on the low. If you understand and read between the lines, it says, therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. And he is clean. He is clean contrary to our doing. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objecteth to our infamy. Okay. The transgressings of our education. Okay. So we're against them, right? And they know we're against them. So ultimately, they're basically whatchamacallit, Salakia, these beasts. They're basically they're trying to find a snare for the men of the Lord. Them that reproveth in the gate, they're looking for a snare for them. Okay. And it says, he professeth to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord, right? He was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us, even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. So that's going into something totally different. Salakia, my head was just all over the place. But the point is this, is that him that is feeble, that which is feeble is to be nothing worth, right? He says, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. This is what they're saying about you, Jakes. You have to read between the lines. And there's another video I played. It was shorter, but it was saying the same thing. Let's go here.
Are you saying this crash was somehow caused and the result of diversity hiring? And what evidence have you seen to support these claims?
It just could have been. We have a high standard. We've had a much higher standard than anybody else. And there are things where you have to go by brain power. You have to go by psychological quality.
Yeah.
And psychological quality is a very important element of it. These are various
IQ.
very powerful tests that we put to use, and they were terminated by Biden. And Biden went by a standard that's the exact opposite. Yeah. So we don't know, but we do know.
Yeah, because he let all you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in there. You know, if this was truly a place with high standards, they would never have hired you people. You understand? This is what he's saying. Listen to this, man. Let me play this again. I don't know if brothers is understanding me.
Are you saying this crash was somehow caused and the result of diversity hiring? And what evidence have you seen to support these claims?
It just could have been. We have a high standard. We've had a much higher standard than anybody else. And there are things where you have to go by brain power. You have to go by psychological quality. And psychological quality is a very important element of it. These are various very powerful tests that we put to use, and they were terminated by Biden. And Biden went by a standard that's the exact opposite. So we don't know, but we do know that you had two planes at the same level. You had a helicopter and a plane. That shouldn't have happened. And we'll see. We're going to look into that, and we're going to see. But certainly for an air traffic controller, we want the brightest, the smartest, the sharpest. We want somebody that's psychologically superior.
Woo! He says psychologically superior. Remember he said what? That they took out the whites. That he took out the whites, right? He said that you guys, they stopped hiring, said they had too much whites, but we need to bring back how it was, because we need somebody that's psychologically superior. What is he saying here, Akim? What is this devil telling you? He's telling you that you Negroes are inferior. So the spirit was on the Elder Require Quam to bring out that scientific racism point. Very heavy point, right? Which he always does excellent lessons, right? So, hey, man, that's the spirit. Esau's getting ready to come down. All that PC shit, that's about to be out the window, man. They're about to show you, based upon their AI, that this is why, you know, it's not racism. It's the AI that showed us that you should, that you're not qualified for this. You know, that you're supposed to be lower on the totem pole. Okay? So, damn. Yo, hey man, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's doing what he's supposed to do. This is Revelations 13 and verse 11. It says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Right? I tell you, that's that bipartisan system, and that dragon is speaking, boy. That what he just said was dragon talk. That was dragon talk, what he just talked about there. He said, you Negroes, you Latinos, and not so many words. He didn't say those exact words verbatim. But if you read between the lines, is the diversity, equity program, right? That is the reason why this crash happened. You got too much of these, these low IQ people in there. We need to put people that are psychologically superior in there. I hope brothers is understanding that. Yo, this is heavy, man. This is heavy, bro. This beast is coming down. He's coming down hard. Okay, don't tell me this ain't Nero, man. This is Quadar Lion. It says Khan Ak. They need to keep the same energy, because we are literally going to be super petty in our kingdom. Oh, of course. The scriptures say we shall meditate terror in our kingdom, right? When Yahweh Shai comes back, okay? Golly. It says, and Esau know we're going to meditate terror on them. Yeah, well, he reads the scriptures. Okay, he sees the prophecies, but you know, at the end of the day, he's trying to offset the prophecies because that's his pride, but he's not going to be able to fully accomplish what he wants to accomplish. But the point is, he's speaking like a dragon right now. He's speaking like a dragon. Get back. He's speaking like a dragon. All right. So, hey, man, that's heavy, man. That's heavy. Esau's making it be known. It's just a quick video I had to pull out. I really wasn't going to make a video, but the Spirit said I had to do this video. Man, things are moving quickly, man. And he's about to come down with great wrath. Let me read Revelation 12 and 12 real quick. This is Revelation 12 and verse 12. And it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Wow. Beautiful. Such fucking loser. Hey, can someone get rid of this roach? But anyways, well, I'm closing up soon anyway. The elder Shalom, brother. Shalom, Zaquan. Yabashim Shai Bashim Kakadash Brakata. Elder Yahawada. He said they Right. Yeah. The Jays have the highest IQ. Yep, the Jays. That's what he's trying to say. The Jays have the highest IQ according to their science. You see that? Even Jordan Peterson, that demon, was speaking about it, and he's just an irritating dude to listen to. He just sounds so fake intellectual, you know. But it says, I just did a similar lesson. Okay, Khan, I have to check that out then. Right. And it says, they say the Jays have the highest. Right. Yep. I got what you were saying. It took me a little while, but I got what you were saying. It's all good. Yeah. Matter of fact, we can go to what Jordan Peterson said if I can find it, because the elders put that out there too. So secretly, amongst these Edomites that read and read the what's it called, the Bell's Curve and these different books, and they have these ideologies secretly, these racist ideologies secretly, they believe this. Okay, they believe this. So anyways, don't worry. You'll find out when you're in a concentration camp, buddy. You'll find out when you're in a concentration camp who the true prophets were. Okay, don't worry. We're not worried about you when you're ready to get chipped. You understand then. The Lord came back, but the earth is in fucking turmoil and wickedness. Clown ass nigga. Jordan Peterson on IQ and jobs. Okay. I just want that short that the elders found. Okay, there we go.
It's not surprising that people don't want to know the truth about IQ, because it's quite nasty. I mean, there are huge differences between people in their intrinsic ability to learn, and that has walloping economic and social consequences. And so there's a bitterness in that's, I mean, I think we still have to address it and take it seriously.
Economic consequences, meaning this is why you Jakes are poor. This is why you're poor, right? You're poor because you have low IQ. Has nothing to do with racism. It has nothing to do with redlining. It has nothing to do with you burning down Rosewood and Black Wall Street. It has nothing to do with those things. It all has to do with the fact you have low IQ and you're natural sinkers. You're natural sinkers, you Negroes. Yo, you Jakes are gonna see the true nature of these devils real soon, because you Jakes, you're blind. When I go outside, I watch you Jakes, and I see you Jakes are fucking blind. All right, I see you guys. You have this docile, naive look on your face when you speak to Esau. When you speak to anybody, when you speak to women, you don't know what the fuck is going on. See, but when they speak to us, when they speak to the serious brothers, right? They know, you can tell they get uncomfortable. When they speak to me, they get uncomfortable. Not because I'm cursing them. I could be speaking very kindly to them. But I'm the way I'm looking at them, the way I'm responding to them, they're like, damn, this guy knows something. This is not no regular nigga. He knows what the hell is going on. He knows more than what I know. Okay? I just got out the Uber yesterday with an Ishmaelite that at first you could tell he was looking at this fucking nigga. Put on your seatbelt. You know, he's in that spirit. And I started having a conversation when I started sparking a conversation with him and showing that he's not that smart. And I wasn't doing it in a way like that. I was just doing it in a, you know, casual conversation. But then he said, oh, no, he's not a regular nigga. So then by the end of the conversation, he was all, oh, have a good day, man. Have a good day. Because we're not the same like you, man. We're on a higher level than the average Jake. You Jakes have not tapped into your potential. Okay? And we have a higher potential than any of these damn Edomites. We're smarter than all of these Edomites. We're more intelligent than all of these Edomites. Our children develop faster than all of these Edomites and all of these nations, period. So if you were to put us in an even playing field, which Esau never did, if you were to put us on an even playing field, everything, all, you know, somewhat being equal. I'm not saying everything's going to be exactly equal, but I'm saying somewhat, without hindrance, in other words. Guess what? Jake would surpass these devils. And that includes the goddamn media. Media has a lot to play into a person's mindset. Okay? They've destroyed you based upon this media. It's high psychological operations being worked on you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans dealing with the media and how you see yourself and self-esteem and so on. That has all to do with it. Okay? So anyway, Salakia, let me just play this again. I'm going on a rant.
People don't want to know the truth about IQ because it's quite nasty. I mean, there are huge differences between people in their intrinsic ability to learn, and that has walloping economic and social consequences.
Hold on, let me read the elders. Elders is putting some stuff up here. I gotta try to read it before it disappears off of this thing. It says, we have one that can see. Yeah, that's how they act. We have one that can see. That's exactly how they look at us, man. You know, when we talk to these guys. It says, these E's, this is from GMS Virgin Island Straightgate, Shalom Art. It says, these E's have never been for us. They slaves here. But, Jeremiah 10:16, the portion of Jacob is not like them. Beautiful. For he is the former of all things. Everything came from us. All these inventions that make this world run comes from the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, point blank period, the Israelites. But I thought we have a low IQ. Okay? And Israel is the rod of his inheritance. Yahweh of hosts is his name. Oh, shoot. It says Esau, talk to Esau. Damn, man. I hate the fact that this, damn, if Elder Yashawamba, if you want to put that comment again, the first comment you left again, because for some reason, it doesn't let me scroll up with these comments. It says, it's tacky. I didn't see what the first thing he said. So, like, I read kind of slow. It says, these devils ain't about shit, right? The ultimate culture vultures. Oh, of course. Everything they got, they stole from somebody. Even that whole, what do you call it? Aryan race thing, that they got that from the Elamites. It says, just like the Wizard of Oz, when you finally saw him, he was a clown. Yep, that's Esau. That's Esau. That's Esau. He's nothing, man. He's nothing. He just has portrayed himself as something. He's nothing. He's the basis of all men, as the scriptures say. Genesis 4:11, GMS Virgin Island Straightgate. It says, and now art thou cursed. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand, right? Well, Esau, he has the spirit of Cain, right? It says, when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth, right? It says, and Cain said unto Yahweh, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Yeah, he's a fugitive, absolutely. That's why he's trying to hide who he is, and he's trying to hide who we are, right? It says it's irksome watching Jake talk to you. Oh boy, it's so irksome. But it's just I just can't stop. I like to observe it from a distance, you know? Because I'm like, yo, those simple-minded people, man. You know? It's like, oh my gosh, you could just see Jake doesn't know what the hell's going on. He doesn't even know he has enemies, you know? It says, it says, is what he said. It's irksome watching Jake talk to Esau is what he said. Okay. Okay, Khan. Yeah, it is. You know, it absolutely is. It's very tacky. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's why he said that. Yep. Said I said it's right. Yep. I 100% agree. I 100% agree with you, Elder. Revelations 20 and verse 7, it says, and I'm going to play that video one more time for DJ Trump in case brothers just came in late, because he basically said you niggas is too stupid to fly planes. This is why this crash happened. Revelations 20 and 7, and when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Right. And that's Esau being in a lower state in Europe, okay, at that time, okay, the bottomless pit. But then he was loosed in the time of what, the Borgias, Christopher Columbus. That's when he began to be loosed. It says Revelations 20 and 8. Now it says, and shall go out to deceive the nations. Yeah, and part of the deception is that he's the smartest, he's the highest intelligence. Right? He's the closest thing to God, to the highest evolved. This is all witchcraft and lies. Okay, you Israelites have bought into this, right? They spoon feed it to you, right? They don't come out covertly and tell you you're just dumb by nature. Of course not. They say it in subtle ways, just like how DJ Trump said it, just like how Peterson said it, Jordan Peterson, which he's a fake intellectual, okay, which are in the four quarters of the earth. The Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. Dante, he think we Muslims or something, Akia. I don't know if he's talking about the scoffer. Anyways, this is a GMS Virgin Island Straight Gate. It says 1 Timothy 6 and 20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings. Yep. This is their pseudo-science is vain babblings. Okay, it's the skull size determines the intelligence. You know, they used to say it was based upon how big the skull is. That's how intelligent. That shows who's more intelligent, and they used to stand by that as if it was a fact. In oppositions of science, falsely so-called pseudo. When you look at the word falsely here, in the Greek, it's pseudos, right? It's pseudo-science. Okay? It says Khan movie Hidden Figures. Okay. So yeah, Khan. So let me play that one more time for you, Akim, man. The water for the scriptures. So I don't have to be scrambling looking for scriptures. But I want to play this, not what he said, but DJ Trump backing him up. Showing you these devils, and then when they look at you, if you really have eyes to see, you can clearly see that he's that these devils don't like you, that they think they're over you, and really you're supposed to look at them like you're over them, because we are over them. You can look at these devils, when you look at them, you can look at them like they're lesser than you, because they are lesser than us. You know, that's the facts. It's not prideful to do that, because these other nations are lesser than us. Anyways.
Are you saying this crash was somehow caused and the result of diversity hiring? And what evidence have you seen to support these claims?
It just could have been. We have a high standard. We've had a much higher standard than anybody else. And there are things where you have to go by brain power. You have to go by psychological quality. And psychological quality is a very important element of it.
You niggas don't have enough psychological quality. According to them, you don't have enough psychological qualities or intelligence, IQ, in order to do these type of jobs. Let's go.
There are various very powerful tests that we put to use, and they were terminated by Biden. And Biden went by a standard that's the exact opposite. So we don't know, but we do know that you had two planes at the same level. You had a helicopter and a plane. That shouldn't have happened. And we'll see. We're going to look into that, and we're going to see. But certainly for an air traffic controller, we want the brightest, the smartest, the sharpest. We want somebody that's psychologically superior, and that's what we're going to have. Yeah.
So they're psychologically superior. When you read between the lines, see them alt-right Edomites, they can read between the lines when he says these things. They know exactly what he's talking about when he says this. It's you Jakes that don't understand this language that he's speaking. Okay? And it's very convenient. I find it very convenient. Salaki, I find it very convenient that that Esau, that this happened right on time to validate, you know, his decision of destroying that DEI thing, you know, or attacking the DEI thing, the diversity equity program or whatever. It's quite convenient that this just happened, so he can use this, you know. It's convenient, because I was just reading about something about Nero and how he would make, basically I gotta maybe do a video on it, but he would make things happen because he was such a narcissist. He would make things happen to justify things that he said. All right? I'm just gonna put that out there. So let's listen to this now.
Targeted disabilities are those disabilities that the federal government, as a matter of policy, has identified for special emphasis in recruitment and hiring. The FAA's website states they include hearing, vision, missing extremities, partial paralysis, complete paralysis, epilepsy, severe intellectual disability, psychiatric disability, and dwarfism all qualify for the position of a controller of air.
Which this is stupid. They did that on purpose. They tried to lump all these things in. Or he could be he could have Down syndrome. He could, you know, he could have he could be blind. He could be this and that. He could be hearing impaired. And all these things is foolishness. Obviously, you know that cannot work in these type of jobs. But they put all that in there to get rid of the whole idea altogether. Okay? Because this is, come on, man. Let's be real. Does that make sense? You know, it's like having someone to be a driving teacher, but they can't see. They're blind. Come on, man. It's just duh. But they're gonna lump you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in that as well.
Planes pouring into our country, pouring into a little spot, a little dot on the map, a little runway.
Hold on, I want to read the comments before they go too far up. It says, you'd have to imagine if he knew we were God's people, he'd think very highly of us, so he must not know. No. These elites know exactly who we are. They know exactly who we are. Okay, especially when you go higher up, they know exactly where. They have all the documentation. All right. It says GMS Virgin Islands Straight Gate. It says he the creator of civilization, shaking my damn head. It says they want the whitest. Yeah, they want the white. Yeah, when they say brightest, they want the whitest. Yeah, he's gonna say it at the end of this too. It says no one even knows if it was a DEI hire that failed. Yeah, they don't know. It doesn't matter. Anything to blame you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? It says those are the things that disqualify you from being an air traffic controller. Okay, being like hearing the things that he read. Factors that can disqualify you from becoming an air traffic controller include a significant criminal history, poor vision, okay, or hearing, a history of mental health issues, a history of substance abuse. So he's lying. So then that means he's lying, because didn't he just say that those are some of the things that they allow? Let me hear this again. It says failing a requirement psychological exam, not meeting the required medical standards set by the FAA. He making false accusations. Was it a fact? Let me see what's going on. Let's listen to that again and see if he said let's listen.
Targeted disabilities are those disabilities that the federal government, as a matter of policy, has identified for special emphasis in recruitment and hiring. The FAA's website states they include hearing, vision, missing extremities, partial paralysis, complete paralysis, epilepsy, severe intellectual disability,
severe intellectual disability. So is he not saying that this is what they have as including? Let me hear that again. I want to hear it slow, because I can't really hear him properly. Let's see if I could put on the CC. Let's put this on.
Targeted disabilities are those disabilities that the federal government, as a matter of policy, has identified for special emphasis in recruitment and hiring. The FAA's website states
for special emphasis in recruiting. So it's like they're looking to hire these people more than a regular person. In other words, a person without these problems. This is what I'm getting from this, right? So
they include hearing, vision, missing extremities, partial paralysis, complete paralysis, epilepsy, severe intellectual disability, psychiatric disability, and dwarfism all qualify for the position of a controller of airplanes pouring into our country, pouring into a little spot, a little dot on the map, a little runway.
Okay, so that's it. So he's saying that those things can qualify you. As a matter of fact, make you more desirable for those positions. That's what he's saying. So if what the elder put is the truth, somebody's lying. Something's a lie, right? Either what the elder found, that person was lying, or this guy's lying. But either way, we know where it's going. It says, if you lack the necessary cognitive skills to quickly process information, make rapid calculations, and effectively communicate with pilots, you may not be suitable for the role. So see, and this is from the site directly. Look it up on Google. Okay. The ability to make quick decisions under pressure. Okay. Qualifications for, what is it? A plane controller, aircraft controller. Let me see what the
a controller of airplanes pouring into our country.
Controller of airplane controller qualifications or disqualifications, I'll say. Airplane controller disqualifications. Disqualifications in America. All right. What medical condition does the FAA consider disqualifying? It says, what medical conditions does the FAA consider disqualifying? The following conditions are listed in the regulations as disqualifying medical conditions. However, in many cases, when the condition is adequately controlled, the FAA will issue medical certification contingent on periodic reports. Angina pectoris, bipolar disease. So you can't be bipolar. Can't have heart problems. It's saying here, it says diabetes, certain diabetes you can't have. Disturbance of consciousness without satisfactory explanation of cause. Epilepsy. Well, it's saying here that you can't have epilepsy. Right here on the website. So what's going on? What's he talking about? He's saying that epilepsy, you can have epilepsy, but it's saying you can't have it. Right? Unless it's controlled. It does say unless it's controlled, right? Personality disorder, psychosis, substance abuse, substance dependence, and transient loss of control of nervous system functions without satisfactory explanation of cause. So, I mean, there is, I guess, exceptions to the rules, but in generally, that would disqualify you. So I don't know. And this is the www.faa government website. So I don't know what he's alluding to anyway. So, anyways, it says, the elder says, under Biden, misfits and undesirables have been included into everything. And E is fed up with it, right? Basically, people who don't qualify for positions have qualified due to inclusion. Right, exactly. Including you Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans. You're the main one that qualified unjustly. Says he said you can't even quantify that shit. You can't even quantify that for real. It's like someone is exactly the same. There's with the what's that thing called? Affirmative action. It was if someone has the exact same resume, exact same qualifications, you're supposed to choose the black person or the white woman. By the way, she was the main beneficiary for that affirmative action with so-called white woman. Then you have to choose them. But who has an exact same resume? No one has the exact same resume anyway, so it's hard to quantify something like that. It's all bullshit. Anyways, it says basically, Salaki, let me read this again. It says he said you can be an epileptic and be an aircraft traffic controller, right? But there on the website it says you can't. So that's not true. Okay? It says you can't, right? It says that's one of the disqualifications. It says the GMS Virgin Islands Strait Gate. He says, well, if that's the case, then it's your own damn fault to hire someone incompetent or with some mental health problems. What the hell? This is a hopeful elect, Isaiah 19:14. It says, the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. Or that's true. That is a perverse spirit. And has caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Beautiful. So let me just finish this off. Okay, let's go. Let's go from the top.
Targeted disabilities are those disabilities that the federal government, as a matter of policy, has identified for special emphasis in recruitment and hiring. The FAA's website states they include hearing, vision, missing extremities, partial paralysis, complete paralysis, epilepsy, severe intellectual disability, psychiatric disability, and dwarfism all qualify for the position of a controller of airplanes pouring into our country, pouring into a little spot, a little dot on the map, a little runway. The initiative is part of the FAA's diversity and inclusion hiring plan. Think of that. The initiative is part of the FAA's diversity and inclusion hiring plan, which says diversity is integral to achieving FAA's mission of ensuring safe and efficient travel. I don't think so. I think it's just the opposite. The FAA website shows that the agency's guidance on diversity hiring were last updated on March 23rd of 22. They wanted to make it even more so. And then I came in, and I assume maybe this is the reason. The FAA, which is overseen by Secretary Pete Buttigieg, a real winner. That guy's a real winner. Do you know how badly everything's run since he's run this Department of Transportation? He's a disaster. He was a disaster as a mayor. He ran his city into the ground, and he's a disaster now. He's just got a good line of the Department of Transportation. His government
like he cursed, like he said shit. I don't know.
Agency charged with regulating civil aviation. This guy's a real winner. Do you know how badly everything's run since he's run this Department of Transportation? He's a disaster. He was a disaster as a mayor. He ran his city into the ground, and he's a disaster now. He's just got a good line of
I think he said bullshit, if I'm not mistaken, man.
Of Transportation, his government agency charged with regulating civil aviation. Well, he runs it, 45,000 people, and he's run it right into the ground with his diversity. So I had to say that it's terrible. Then it's a group within the FAA, another story, determined that the workforce was too white, that they had concerted efforts to get the administration to change that and to change it immediately. This was in the Obama administration just prior to my getting there. And we took...
See, he said it was too white, right? So they took out all them good, intelligent, high-quality, superior Edomites, right? And they replaced it with you other people.
Care of African Americans, Hispanic Americans. We took care of everybody at level.
Notice. He mentioned you African Americans and you Hispanics, you Negroes and Latinos, right? You see?
That nobody's ever seen before. It's one of the reasons I won. But they actually came out with a directive, too white. And we want the people that are competent.
And why don't they ever mention Asians? Why don't they ever mention East Indians? It's a bit madness. Which I thought they said the Asians were the smartest. I thought Asians were even smarter than most Edomites. So why couldn't they hire them? Right? Because that's part of the diversion inclusion. They're so-called what you call it, minorities according to them. So they could have hired them too. So what's the problem? Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Anyways, I wanted this to be a short lesson, but you see the Spirit had this go all the way to 45 minutes. So anyways, with that, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect, and I'll say shalom to water for you Akim, you Akim dropping your comments as well. The water, shalom.